So it's Wednesday, and it's another drizzly, rainy day. So maybe have some sun for a couple more days, maybe Thursday and Friday, and then it'll rain some more. But the chickens today, I just let them out. They didn't have to escape to get out. They're going to anyway, but eventually. But it's rainy, and they've been staying really close to the house when it's rainy. If it rains hard, they've been getting in here under this wood, which is under the eaves of the house, and as you can see what they've dug up here, and they've got a little spot under there where they just smells like peat. The soil does. I'm sure the spruce probably this big old spruce, which is 5-6 feet around, is I don't know if, like pine, it adds a more acidic loaminess to the soil or not, but these two, which are my dust bathing queens, they like to dig big holes, and they dust bathe more than any of the others. But they decided that here, right under the edge of the eave of the house, and under the spruce, they've been out here about half hour just rolling around and playing. They've been going, I come out and check them about every hour, 2 hours, to make sure they're not wandered off. And it's around probably 11 o'clock now in the morning, and they've been out. I've caught several of them going in and out of their actual coop. I leave the door open so they can go in there. That's where the food and water is, except for a little scratch here around the entry. They have to go in to the corral and then into the coop run for their food and water. If you're new here, I'll just give a little bit of what is going on with the coop here. So this is a 5 foot by 15 foot dog run. You can put it together as 5 by 15, or you can do 10 by 10. I did 5 by 15 so that I could put their coop in a 5 foot square back there, and the rest of it is just a open air run. Now I've got some big billboard tarps. These were vinyl billboards that Paul got. They took the vinyl off to replace, of course, a new sign, and he brought home the old ones. So I've wrapped that all the way around the end of their coop, so it keeps them from having to deal with drafts and cold air and getting wet or anything like that. And I don't have to really build a really heavy duty coop. They're protected. This right here is the door. It's on hinges. It swings down, and it has 2 hook latches on each side. And I have been lately, because it hasn't been super bitter cold, there's a little door cut into that wall, but I haven't been putting it down. I just let them come out whenever they want to in the morning. But I wanted them to have this 5 foot by 10 foot spot here that they can just they have to hang out if it's really pouring rain, or the weather's inclement, or I'm weed eating, or I'm doing something out in their corral, that they have a place to get in and out of the weather. Keeps their food dry and their water clean. See, when they're not forced to stay in, they come right in and they follow me around like little puppies. And they have a corral. They have a tin roof, and there's a bit of an overhang here, but they have, I call it their corral. It's just that vinyl chicken mesh wire stuff, but it's about 30 feet wide and 40-50 feet long. Yeah, so they've got a large area in here, but of course that's chickens, and being the breeds they are, which is, I have Americanas, I have Wyandottes, and I have some Brahmas. They're all really big into foraging. I think the Americanas and the Wyandottes are probably more into it than the Brahmas, but they can fly over. I haven't bothered to clip any wings yet. It really wasn't an issue, but now that winter's here, and I guess there's less to keep them interested in here, and they've got a couple holes like back in that corner there on the other side of my hammock frame. They have a nice big dust bath hole, but it's been raining for a couple days, and when it's not raining, it's just this misty, pissy little drizzle, is what we call it, which I don't mind. I love this kind of weather. But hi, Lottie, are you coming in to have a snack? Yeah, you and Una? So, you guys shaking off some of the dust, huh? They're like, yo, we're kind of dusty. Well, you're kind of dusty because you're dirty. You've been wallowing around in the dirt. So, Kiba and Neve. Kiba's more of the redhead. Neve is the blonde. Americana Bronwyn. Americana Laddyroo. And then the two silver lace Wyandottes behind you. This is Luna, named after a beloved cat, and Una. And all their names are Celtic. Yeah, I just went with a Celtic name group this time. I think the next group will be, maybe I'll name them after flowers, or who knows. Some sort of theme. They're like, whatever, human. It's at your discretion. But yeah. Nice dust bath full of feathers and footprints. You guys feel better now? Huh? You feel pressure? So here, well, Delaware, a lot of times we don't lose all of our green. We're mid-Atlantic. So we pretty much miss out on the northeast weather. Now, you know, you can see out here, the grass is still really green. We've had many nights down into the 20s. And let's see, this is my little construction work area, but you can see some patches of brown, but I think that is just I think that maybe that's the crabgrass. I don't know. Mainly clover and fescue is what's out here. Up front is a very ultra fine fescue. Really, really tiny blades, but some really thick, lush carpet. And sometimes the yard never goes brown. The summer was the brownest it was, and that was because of the drought, but we stay pretty green grass-wise. You know, it just depends on what you've got planted in your yard. This is a huge 100-foot holly tree. I have two of them, which that one just has brush that's been stacked around the bottom of it. And it provides a really good home for cardinals, blue jays, finches, any other little birds that they got a lot of protection because it's very pokey, and there's also food with its little berries. There's another that holly tree over there is probably a little bit more than 100 feet, but yeah. And I've let it grow all the way to the ground. You know, I don't have it cut with this one has a trunk, you know, like a traditional tree shape, and that's just some weeds and some underbrush I put under there, and I've just let grow because bunnies, I tend to get bunnies that like to make little burrows underneath these holly trees, and they're quite protected under there. So I just kind of let them be wild, bohemian looking trees, so that, you know, the critters can enjoy it. I think there's probably some wheat, or probably some sort of winter wheat or grass across the street. It looks like they've got some defined rows. It was corn. They alternate corn and soybeans across in that big field, and that one over there. We're at the very, very outskirt edge of town. Like, there's a highway that runs along the edge of town. But anyhow, most of you know all this. There's the garden. I need to cut those okra. I keep saying I'm going to cut the pods off, but every day that I'm about wanting to, or I've got the gumption to do it, it's pouring rain. Now I've got to go in and get a shower and run some errands, but I'll get to it eventually. I have people who want okra seed. So, yeah, the chickens are enjoying getting to free range. And they, I think as long as I let them out, you know, they don't take off like they're afraid I'm going to force them back in. See, is Franklin on, y'all? So I like to get under there. These were stacked up neatly, and they've kind of knocked them down. But yeah, they're all just like to hang out here. And luckily for me, they stay close to their coop. Maybe it's just instinct, and because they know that's where the protection is, and their food and water. And they like to peck around and find stuff to nibble on or here around the base of the house. So anyhow, so in the mornings, unless it's like super bitter cold, when it is really bitter cold, they have a little coop heater, it stands up there on this little ledge, so it's aimed right where they roost. They got 2 roosts here, and it's radiant, so they have to get really up close to it to warm themselves. But it does keep keeps the coop around 40 degrees, which is fine for them all winter. And then down there is their little custom dust bath, which has diatomaceous earth, a little bit of Saturday lime, some regular dirt and sand, and some peat moss. And they're just, they get in there, but not as much as they want to be outside. So this is just an area here on the side for them to just hang out on. I put food along that board, especially when they're in the coop. So unless it's super bitter cold or blowing really cold weather, real windy, I have been leaving their coop door open so they can come in and out. And then in the morning, whenever I just come out whenever I get up, which usually is no later than about 7 or 8 if I sleep in, and I just open this. Look at it, you still got the paper on it from the summer, but yeah, so they are, until I come out and let them out into the corral, they are safe and kept up in here. And I have it secured so nothing can get in. It's mounted on, well, it goes right on the ground. There's a little bit of a slant, but there's 2 by 6 by 12s that are buried in the ground, and it's bolted too, so nothing can get into them. On this other side, if something wanted, it's got a 2 by 12 also, but it also is on part of the old gravel driveway, so there's no digging down onto it. But yeah, this is a Dunkin' Donuts billboard sign, and I just used it on this corner because this is the summer when we were getting hurricane weather. We were getting the backsides of hurricanes that's coming from the northeast, which that's the northeast. So this kept things from blowing into the coop. So, or the coop run, the kennel. It stays nice and dry in there, as you can tell by looking at the dirt that they've scratched up. And they can now they're really too big to be picked off by any big birds of prey. They stay pretty much protected under here. Laddie's also a very good protector, and typically the cat's out here, but he just came in. So as long as they stay on this side of the house, I'm just not worrying about it. I'm letting them be out here. I can look out the window and check on them, and if I don't see them out the window, then I come out and check and spend some time with them. And it really has done wonders for taming them. This morning one of the Neve was looked like she was struggling for breath. At least that's what Paul thought she was doing, and thought she might have gapeworm. I came out and picked her up and checked her out, and she's done that off and on since she was a little chick. She doesn't have gapeworm. I don't know if she had, her crop was empty, she didn't have anything stuck in her throat, and she hasn't done it since. So I don't know if it's just a thing of hers, but it's not something she's doing chronically like she has gapeworm. They've all been wormed, so I think she's fine. But so I picked her up and carried her around a little bit, and she was nice and calm in my arms. But when I was ready to put her down and I let those wings, took my arm away from her wings, she was ready to flap on down. But I don't worry about them flying. They can, with some effort, get over the 4.5, 5 foot fence that goes around their corral, but they can't get really any distance, and they have to be just at the right spot because their wings are small compared to how big their bodies are. They are big birds. But anyway, they're all having a good old time. They pick the bugs, so they don't really eat the ivy. I mean, anything that's hiding behind it, and they've just been enjoying coming around here along the foundation. So maybe they've got rid of some of the weeds I didn't want in there. But yeah, this is their temporary new fave outdoor dust bathing spot, which is fine as long as it's right here by the house. I know that's going to keep them, especially the Brahmas, because they love it. And then once they dig it, everybody else enjoys it. But they like to kind of congregate around their dust bathing spots. So right now that's what they're doing. They're congregating around the house in their dust bathing spots. And I should probably really bundle up all these post thingies, garden posts, and put them in a bundle and lean them against the house. Or I don't go in the shed because I think there's spiders and it's spooky. But I've just had them leaning up against the house, and now they're all hodgepodge, willy-nilly everywhere. But I don't care. I don't mind. It's just the side of the house. You guys having fun? So the big flapping we just heard was a black vulture. They nest in the old chimney on the house, but they're really not interested in large live animals. Laddie's on alert. He's like, okay, I heard that. So I didn't really worry about them with the vultures, but they'll there's lots of little birds around. They chase off any little birds that come land to like peck at their scratch. They chase them off. Like, hey, get out of here, you little pipsqueaks. So, well, that's what they're doing. Hump day happiness. Get those happy, happy, happy fluffy butts. All right, everybody. We'll watch the chickens for a few more minutes and then we'll call it a day. Please subscribe, share the video to other chicken lovers. Let me know if you like it. I think the temperature today is 65. December 7th, 65 on the northeast coast. What you doing, laddie, huh? Doing a perimeter check? Keep an eye on your girls? Hi, mister. Yeah. Checking on Luna, huh? Oh, here comes your best girl. There's Bronwyn, the other Americana, a little blue egg layer. Y'all venturing out? See, I've squatted here near the ground, so they think I probably have some food or treat on me. So they're coming closer. I'm like, we like it when you're on our eye level better, Mom. You like it when I'm not towering over you, is that it? So yeah. And there's my knee and there's Luna. Like, we like to peck at your clothes too. But yeah, this makes me feel good that they like, I mean, they've got a lot of yard to roam. A whole acre if they went all the way around the house. But they seem to, especially when it's rainy, they stay near their coop. Y'all making Mama very happy by doing that. They're like, when are you gonna cut these away, Mom? Oh, well, maybe in the spring. Laddie, say bye. Smile.